morning, and welcome to Theodore Parker Unitarian Universalist Church. My name is Robin Colgrove, and my family and I have been coming to Theodore Parker since the greatest fear of impending doom was the Y2K bug. As we enter into worship, we bring with us all of the sorrows and joys of our week, and we know that here we are held in loving community. Here we are reminded that we are part of something larger than ourselves. Here we seek to counter oppression, to work for healing and justice in a bruised and broken world. Here we invite all of you to bring your perspectives, your beliefs and doubts, and all that is unique and wondrous about you to our service in a spirit of love. All are welcome here. For those of you joining us in person, a few things you may want to know. You can use the QR code in your pews to pull up the order of service on your device of choice, or take one of the large print copies available at either entrance. The service is being recorded today and will be available on YouTube later. Today, we will be sharing spoken joys and concerns during prayer time. People of all ages are welcome to move about in the sanctuary as they need to, or to make themselves comfortable in the cozy zone in front of the first pew. Today, children are invited to be with us during the whole service. Also, we have childcare available for children under 4 in the nursery, located in our parish hall. If you're new to Theodore Parker or are visiting today, we'd love to stay in touch. You are warmly invited to fill out a connection card, which you can find either in your pew or in the Zoom chat if you are joining us online. We'd like to take a moment to greet one another. I invite folks to give the folks on Zoom a big wave to the camera in the back by the clock. If you're joining us online, please post a hello in the chat. If you're physically in the sanctuary, we invite you to greet one another. I invite us all to be seated as Yukiko shares our prelude, Etude number 2 by Philip Glass.
Okay, worship is over. We can all go home now. In all seriousness, that was beautiful. Thank you, Yukiko. Good morning, everybody. I'm Reverend Heather Concannon. My pronouns are she, her, and I'm the minister of this congregation, and it's my honor to welcome you to Theodore Parker Church this morning. Before we begin with our opening words, I would like to just say a few words about yesterday's winter fair. What an amazing day. For all of us who were there, I got a wreath. My kid loved the hot dogs. There were tables full of treasures. And if you missed it, there's still an opportunity. I'll share a little bit more during our announcement, but there's still an opportunity to get some treasures later today during coffee hour. But I wanted to announce that we raised over $5,000 yesterday. Congratulations to us. And I particularly wanted to thank the people who made it happen. So if you made food, if you made soups or baked goods, would you raise your hand? Thank you to all our chefs and bakers. If you helped decorate or set up or break down, would you raise your hand so we can thank you? If you staffed a table yesterday, would you raise your hand? If you were a team captain, if you did wreaths or gift cards or baskets or baked goods, if you captained one of those teams, would you raise your hand? If you came yesterday, would you raise your hand? And lastly, I want to say a huge thank you to our organizers, Jennifer, Jen, and Carol. Thank you so much for all you've done with the Winter Fair this year. And Diane Issa, my apologies. It was truly a community effort and a labor of love, so thank you all so much. We enter into our worship service with these opening words from Max Coots. Let us give thanks for a bounty of people.
For our children who are our second planting.
For generous friends with hearts and smiles as bright as blossoms.
For feisty friends as tart as apples.
For continuous friends who, like scallions and cucumbers, keep reminding us that we've had them.
For crotchety friends, sour as a rhubarb and as indestructible.
For handsome friends who, as gorgeous as eggplants and as elegant as a row of corn, and others as plain as potatoes and so good for you.
For funny friends who are silly as Brussels sprouts and amusing as artichokes.
And serious friends as unpretentious as cabbages, as subtle as summer squash, as persistent as parsley, as delightful as dill, as endless as zucchini, and who, like parsnips, can be counted on to see you through the winter.
For old friends, nodding like sunflowers in the evening time, and young friends, coming on fast as radishes.
For loving friends who wind around us like tendrils and hold us despite our blights, wilts, and witherings.
And for those friends now gone, like gardens past that have been harvested, but who fed us in their times that we might have life hereafter. For all these, we give thanks.
Friends, I invite us to rise in body or spirit for our opening hymn, number 347, Gather the Spirit. The words will be on the screen and in your gray hymnal.
Gather the Spirit, harvest the pure. Our fiery fires will kindle one flame. Witness the mystery of this hour. Our trials in this life appear all the same. Gather in peace, gather in thanks, gather in sympathy now and then. Gather in hope, compassion, and strength. Gather to celebrate once once again. Gather the spirit of heart and mind, seeds for the sowing are laid in store, nurtured in love and conscience refined, with barley and spirit united once more. Gather in peace, gather in thanks, gather in sympathy now and then. Gather in hope, compassion, and strength. Gather to celebrate once again. Gather the spirit growing in all, drawn by the moon and fed by the sun. Winter to spring and summer to fall, the chorus of life resounding as one. Gather in peace, gather in thanks, gather in sympathy now and then. Gather in hope, compassion, and strength. Gather to celebrate once again.
I'm going to invite up Ave and Olivia to light our chalice, symbol of our Unitarian Universalist faith. And as they do so, please join me in saying our shared covenant, once in English and once in Spanish, in honor of our sibling community in Plazuelas, El Salvador. Love is the spirit of this church, and service is its prayer. This is our great covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in love, and to help one another. El amor es el espíritu de nuestra iglesia, y el servicio es nuestra oración. Esta es nuestra gran promesa, vivir juntos en paz, buscar la verdad con amor, y ayudarnos los unos a los otros.
Good morning. My name is Rose. I serve as this congregation's religious educator. It's so good to be with you all this morning on this multi-generational Thanksgiving service. I wonder, have any of you ever heard us say a chalice lighting in Spanish, as we did just then, and wondered, what's that all about? What is this sister community that we talk about, the sibling community? Anyone wondered a little bit? Maybe a lot of folks here already know a bit. But as you may or may not know, a group of folks from our community are, in about a week, going to be going to Plazuelas to visit that sibling community. So as part of giving them a good send-off and blessing, I wanted to share a little bit more about what this community is all about, what this connection to this village in El Salvador is all about. So first, just to zoom out a little bit, to make sure we're all situated, I think I have a slide up if Joel could. Great. It's a map. Where are we on this map? Does any of the kids want to show me where we are? What do you think, Daphne? Yeah, we're in Boston. So we're that star way up in the top right corner in the northeast of the U.S. And where's Plazuelas? What do you think? Way down, almost covered by the captions right there. That star way at the bottom. Yeah, maybe we move the captions briefly just so we can see it a bit better. Beautiful, yes. That star right there. So Plazuelas is really quite far away. It's way south of here, below Mexico in Central America. I think the next slide has, yes, now we have the labels so we can see more clearly. And what language do they speak in Plazuelas? Another question I'm sure some of you can answer. Yeah, Olivia. They speak Spanish, exactly. So El Salvador, the country in the red right there, like many other places, El Salvador has had a really complicated history, right? We might know a little bit about it. There was a very bad civil war there in the 1980s. And unfortunately, our government, the US government, directly funded a lot of the violence that happened there. And particularly since that time, many Salvadorans have had to migrate to the US and send money back to their families to help out. And many people from the US who want to support the people of El Salvador and don't agree with the violence that our government supported have traveled there and built direct relationships and have done what they can to help. A number of folks who are a part of or connected to our community here at Theodore Parker Church have been going to El Salvador for many years. In 2018, a friend of TPC named Mark Smith was visiting the part of El Salvador where he lived and worked in the 1990s, including a small village near the border of Honduras called Plazuelas. Plazuelas is a very beautiful and very remote village of around 200 people. So really not that different than the size of our congregation. When Mark was visiting, some of his friends in the village were telling him that they had been wanting to feel more connected to the world outside of their town. They asked Mark if he knew of any churches or other groups in Boston that might want to form a relationship with their community. Mark brought that idea back with him to Boston and to his friend, TPC member Kevin Murray, who brought the idea to Theodore Parker Church, thought that we might be a great fit for that connection. Our congregation agreed, and we voted to affirm an official sibling community connection in 2019. We see it as part of a commitment to global solidarity and relationship, and we seek for this to be a partnership of mutual learning and solidarity between our communities. A few folks from TPC have been able to visit Plazuelas over time, and a few more, as I said, are going to be going in just about a week. I think it's time for us to invite them up to give them a blessing. Could we have up Kevin, Allison, Stenzi, Kit, and Laura Maltby won't be going to Plazuelas, but will be going to El Salvador the week after. So we'd love to have you up for a blessing as well.
So friends, do you want to maybe hold up the banner? So they've started a banner.
Good luck with that.
Uh-oh. That people from our congregation have had the opportunity to sign over the last couple of weeks at coffee hour, and you'll have the opportunity again to sign if you'd like to send some well wishes with our delegation as well. Come all the way over there. Come get closer to you all. It felt very far away.
Yeah, the bottom is great for a photo. Perfect.
So friends, you are headed on a big adventure, and we have a gift for you, a small token to bring with you in your travels as you prepare to go on this adventure. And we want to give you something physical and tangible from us to take with you. And what we have for you today is a safety pin. And there are two reasons that we're giving you safety pins. The first is that safety pins are very useful. They can come in handy when you are doing important or challenging things. And the second reason is that the safety pins are a metaphor. They are a physical reminder, something that you can hold and touch if things get challenging on your adventures, or if you need a reminder of the connections that you have. They are a physical reminder that you are never holding things together on your own, that there is a whole community of people behind you and with you, helping you to hold things together, and that there are forces as strong as metal and as strong as love that guide you and hold you, and that you have all of us behind you, sending our blessings and our love with you as you go. We're here thinking of you and cheering you on and waiting to hear all of your stories when you return. And that even a very small thing, like a safety pin or a smile, a conversation, a breath, can be very powerful. So as you go, we send you with our blessing. And I'm going to invite us all to raise our hands and send some blessing toward this group. Beloveds, may your travels be smooth. May the connections you build be authentic and powerful. May your learning be in service of a higher good. And may your commitment to justice be unwavering. Thank you for representing our congregation. Know that you bring us with you in so many ways, and we ask you to bring your stories back to us. Thank you for widening and growing our understandings of what it means to be part of the human story on this earth, living in these times, connecting across borders and barriers. May it be so, and amen. We send you with our blessings and our love, and we hope you have a great trip. Please go ahead and be seated. And friends, let us now enter into our space of meditation and prayer. And as we do so, I invite us to take a few breaths together. This morning we will be sharing spoken joys and concerns after our prayer hymn, so I invite us to center ourselves, take a few nurturing breaths as we hear the noises of the city behind us. And let us join together in singing our centering hymn, We Give Thanks. We'll remain seated.
Oh, we give thanks for this precious day, for all gathered here and those far away, for the time we share with love and care. Oh, we give thanks for this precious day. Oh, we give thanks for this precious day, all gathered here and those far away, for the time we share with love and care. Oh, we give thanks for this precious day. We give thanks for this precious day, all gathered here and far away, for the time we share with love and care. Oh, we give thanks for this precious day.
Friends, we come into community to share our lives and our hearts with one another. And one of the ways that we do this is that we have a time about once a month where we have a chance to share our joys and our sorrows in a spoken format. And in sharing, our joys are multiplied and the burdens of our sorrows are sometimes lightened. So if you have a joy or a sorrow this morning that you would like to share, I invite you to come forward to the microphone, light a candle, and share fully but briefly what is on your heart. And you also may share your name as well. And if you're joining us on Zoom, I invite you to type your joy or your sorrow into the chat box, and I will read it and light a candle for you. I invite you forward if you have a joy or a sorrow to share.
I have two candles that I'd like to share. The first started with an urge for oysters on the half shell in Wellfleet. And it ended with my realizing that it's been 2 years since my beloved husband, Stan, died. And I've reached a happy place in thinking about the joy that we shared, which included oysters on the half shell. Wait a second, let me light it if I can. Can I give it to you to light? Thank you. The second candle I wanted to share is Candle of Concern, because Posey, oh my gosh, Walton, thank you, fell and broke her ankle day before yesterday. Yesterday she went to the hospital, and she does have a broken ankle. She is non-weight bearing for the near future, so and in a wheelchair. So she would appreciate a card or a phone call or an email. She said no texts. She's doing well, but is incapacitated for the near future, so would appreciate good wishes. Thank you.
Hearing that about Posey, I realized, is this working? Oh, I should have brought my cane up with me, but I don't want to fall. Anyhow, I have a concern for my brother, Victor, who recently had a lung cancer surgery and thought that he was in good shape, but it seems that it's metastasized, so I'd like, thoughts and prayers for him.
Hi, my name is Jay, and this is Isabel, and I just wanted to share the joy of Isabel and her sister Josie, who I hope you all see at coffee hour. At the dinner table, they don't have conversations, but they do have babbles and smiles, and then pauses, and then wait for the other to babble and smile. Even though Josie can use her words, she's babbling and smiling with Isabel. And so I just wanted to share that joy with you all.
My name's Rebecca, and I wanted to share both a joy and a sorrow. I just returned from Colorado for my mom's 100th birthday, which was a true joy. And there's also sorrow there because her dementia's advancing, although she had a good day on her birthday. And but it's hard. Thanks.
I have two joys. One, both my sisters visited this last weekend, and I can't remember when we were all together. It was, who knows, my mother's funeral or something. So that was very nice. The second one is one that, in the excitement of the winter fair, you probably meant to say but didn't. I want to thank all the people behind the scenes who count the money, collect the money, make the cash advance, and make sure that all that $5,000 gets into the bank. And that includes Margot, Mark Ferenz, and best of all, Batya. She loves making deposits. She's Mark and Deb's granddaughter.
And you. And you.
Thank you.
You just stay up till midnight.
Hi, my name is Julie. I'm here with a sorrow. I think most people who knew Peter Walensky know he died a few months ago. And I just really miss him.
Hi, my name is Eileen, and it's just a candle of concern and sorrow for the Palestinians in Gaza and the West Bank, still being slaughtered, denied shelter, and horrible worsening winter weather. Keep calling, writing, doing whatever you can. Thank you.
I just want to say, the church administrator, Liz, does a tremendous amount of work for the church and the finances. So, didn't mean to forget.
I'm thankful for food.
This is Luna, and she's thankful for food.
Well, I have two that are both joys and concerns. The first is that my two older grandchildren who go to college in Grove City in Pennsylvania, which is near Pittsburgh, are driving back home for Thanksgiving in Maine today. And, and they're quite young. So I have some concern about how they could manage that trip, but they're doing it together. And then the other, okay. And then the other is that my cousin, well, and it's her husband, but he's my cousin too, just recently passed away this last week. And it was not totally unexpected. He's had a wonderful life. And he had, they're having he had a green burial actually yesterday, which I couldn't attend because it was up in our house up in the Berkshires in this town that, well, there's not much heat and things like that up there. But anyways, I was impressed with that.
My name is Daphne. Oh, Mommy. Mommy, do you want to?
My name is Allison. This is Daphne. And we're both thankful that great-grandpa is doing a lot better since it's his bad fall a month or so ago. And I talked to him on the phone a couple days ago, and he's sounding great. He's in very good spirits, and he said his back is feeling a lot better. So we're both very grateful.
My name is Jen, and this is a joy. Jennifer is doing better. Day by day, she's sitting doing puzzles right now. You know, she's able to sit for just a little while. She'll come to church eventually. But we've been through quite an ordeal since her knee surgery, which we're really grateful for because that brought up all the problems that she's been having for years. So it was really a godsend, or a goddess sent to have that. So she loves you and misses you, and yesterday was really hard, but connecting with everybody and the videotaping and people saying hi, she really needed that. So thank you.
And from our community joining us online, Ruth Kahn says, a candle of sorrow for the loss of disability activist John Kelly. You will be sorely missed, my friend. So we light a candle in memory of John. And from Marcia Feldman, my joy is that even in these difficult times, there is so much to be grateful for. I appreciate our loving community at TPC. And from Mary Boyle, I am thankful for our community here at TPC. Special thanks for the caring ministry team. Amen.
For all the joys and sorrows that remain unspoken in our hearts, we light one final candle. As we enter into a time of prayer and meditation, I invite you to turn your attention towards your body. Begin to notice the in and the out of your breath. Feel the steady beating of your heart. Gently, slowly, draw your attention to the seat or the floor beneath you, and then downward to the ground, into the earth, the wide expanse of earth beneath each of us. We gather together bringing so much. We bring our sorrow, our heartbreak for the world, for our own lives. And we bring our joy, our celebration, our glimmers of hope around us. We bring the many layers of our hearts so that we may witness each other, so that we may hold all that is most tender and real together. Let us rest for this moment in the gentle holding of us being together. Let us rest in the holding of this earth, in the spirit that animates and connects each of us. Let us rest in our gratitude for this moment, our gratitude for our presence here and now. May we honor this place, this land, and its ancestors with our presence, with our gratitude. May we hold each other well and trust that in this moment we are held. May it be so. Amen. We rest together in several moments of shared silence, followed by our musical meditation.
Each week, we take an offering to sustain the many ministries of this congregation. We give because we believe that we are part of something larger than ourselves. We give because we believe in music and sacred space, in transformation and in hope, in community and in love. We give because we know that it takes all of us sharing our many gifts to make this space possible, with the faith that together we have more than enough. Links to donate will be in the chat and on the screen, and ushers will be coming around if you wish to give via cash or check. Now, as the Theodore Parker singers sing the ode, Gather the Family, your offerings will be gratefully received.
So a few times a month, my partner Justin brings our daughter Lyndon up to Malden for childcare, where my sister watches Lyndon and Justin works. And for a variety of reasons, mostly having to do with the Ted Williams Tunnel, and also our 18-month-old's hatred for the car, they usually take the Orange Line. And it just so happens that about a month ago, they had one of those days where everything that could go wrong seemed to go wrong. The parking lot at Forest Hills commuter lot was full by the time they got there. They parked at a friend's house and had to walk back. The train pulled away right as they got into the platform. There were delays. A track was down. There was other logistical juggling behind the scenes involving rides for older kids and parent-teacher conferences. It was stressful. It was the kind of logistical mishaps that makes one understandably grouchy. I know you've all had those days and you can picture it. But they got to Malden, they went about their day, and at the end of the day, they got on the train to travel back home. And Justin texted me, having already arrived to the train station later than they had planned to. There were still parent-teacher conferences ahead of us that evening, or ahead of them. Justin texted me, "The track is still not fixed, may be a very, very long ride home." And a few minutes later sent me a video of the train out the train window saying, "I could literally run faster than this train is moving." And I, on the other side of the city, immediately jumped into fix-it mode, very stressed out on their behalf. I started sending them possible solutions. Could they go back to my sister's house for dinner? Should I drive to Malden right this minute at 5 p.m., again, through the Ted Williams Tunnel? Surely that would be faster. That would help. Justin texted back, "It's all good. It just is what it is. I'm just going to try to sink in and enjoy Linden and enjoy the chaos." And I thought, God, what a spiritual message for our times. I'm just going to sink in and try to enjoy the people I love and the moment I am in, even when it is perhaps objectively stressful, even when I'm surrounded by chaos, even when it's out of my control. There have been many times in my life when all I can focus on is what is hard, what is going on that I don't have a choice about. And I'm not always good at sinking into the moment and allowing myself to be fully present in it. But there have also been times when wise ones in my life have pushed me to look at what choices I do have within the limits of what is happening, or have reminded me that there are still things to be grateful for, that even when bad things are happening, that this isn't the only thing that is happening. Children are growing, and air is fresh, and sun is shining, and there is a beloved cat curled at the foot of the bed. These things, too, are part of the fullness of what is happening. And babies are babbling and reminding us of our growing community. Isabel, it's such a joy to have you here. Friends, gratitude is a practice that invites us into the present moment. It invites us into a noticing of what is happening right now. It reminds us that we have the choice to create something meaningful within the chaos, within the conditions we find ourselves in, difficult and beautiful and messy as they are. Science tells us that gratitude literally changes our brains, that people who regularly turn their attention toward gratitude experience increased contentment, resilience, and overall well-being. But it takes work for me to remember gratitude, to remember to be present. It takes me conscious effort, which is not to say that we should ignore all that is heavy or difficult, not at all, but it is to remind myself continuously to widen my awareness to the fullness of the moment, not just the heartbreak, but the beauty too. The human connections, this generous earth, those things that are ever present to us and for which I can sometimes, with practice, choose to be grateful for. Rose will share the second half of our reflection this morning.
At some point in the depths of pandemic lockdown, it became very clear to me that I needed some kind of new anchor point to life. I'm sure that you remember those strange days, although I don't blame you if you prefer not to bring them to mind. So much of what had given my life meaning and structure was either gone or fully out of reach, and I had spent months struggling and failing to make sense of it all. Most days, I felt like I was barely treading water, overtaken by the uncertainty and the grief of that moment. I decided eventually to reach for ritual, for some kind of daily practice that might offer just a bit of respite from the overwhelm. I found a blessing by the Irish poet John O'Donoghue that felt good enough, and I made myself say his words, sometimes out loud, sometimes to myself, as I drank my tea every morning. The blessing begins. I give thanks for arriving safely in a new dawn, for the gift of eyes to see the world, the gift of mind to feel at home in my life. Many days, I can't say that I believed those words. I didn't really feel the gratitude that they expressed, but I said them anyway. And slowly, gradually, over the course of months, I found them to be more and more true. Slowly, gradually, this daily expression of gratitude took root in me. And those strange pandemic days that I so wished I didn't have to be living through started to feel that much more possible, that much more full of meaning. Try as we might, there are no ways to make sense of times of loss and tragedy. There are no ways to make sense of the colonial histories and realities of violence that shape our current moment, that make up the backdrop of the holiday we're about to enter. There are no ways to make sense of times like these, but there are, I believe, ways to make meaning of them. And the seed of that meaning can often be found in our practices of gratitude. As Reverend Heather has reminded us, gratitude invites us into presence, into noticing what is here, now. It reminds us that we are in relationship with the world around us, not in the abstract, but in the tangible present. And that relationship with the world, the truth of our interdependence, is at the core of what modern colonial structures often want us to forget. Psychotherapist and grief worker Frances Weller writes, we can feel either grateful or alienated, but never at the same time. Gratefulness softens our sense of alienation. Our belonging is celebrated in Thanksgiving, in full appreciation that we are both givers and receivers in the exchange of blessings. When we turn towards gratitude, and I think in particular when we rest into rituals and regular practices of gratitude, we open ourselves up to that connection, to that meaning. Giving thanks for safely arriving in a new dawn each morning reminded me that, yes, I am here in this particular morning, in this specific life. I do have the gift of seeing this world, the gift, the possibility of feeling at home in my life. Giving thanks for the food that we eat can be to remember, yes, my life is sustained by other life. The plants or animals in front of me were nurtured by the earth, the rain, the sun, were tended by real human hands, were transported near and far, and were prepared in love for me to eat. I am a part of this story. I am a part of this remarkable web of relationship. You can either feel grateful or alienated, but never at the same time. In a world much too full of violence, of alienation, we have the opportunity to center gratitude. We have the opportunity to make meaning, to deepen our relationship with life. We have the opportunity to give thanks, to let our thanksgiving take root within us and sustain us through all that our lives contain.
This morning we are invited to pause and consider what we are grateful for as we enter into this Thanksgiving time and draw our attention toward that which nourishes us. And here in our community today, I'm reminded of the abundant ways that we nourish one another and all that I am grateful for in this community. And as an embodiment and a reminder of that nourishment and gratitude, I invite us to share in a cornbread communion together, which we did last year, and many congregations, UU congregations, share around Thanksgiving time. And I know that for many of us, the word communion has some particular connotations, but I love to look at the root words and remind myself in this instance, communion means fellowship and sharing. And isn't that so much of what we do together here in our community? It's the same root as the word community, in fact. So we have brought cornbread to share. Many of you last year asked if we made it. It was Star Market. But that was very kind of you. And this cornbread is a reminder of our connection to the earth. We also have apples if you prefer or need those. It's a reminder that even though this food passes through many hands to get to our table, it all ultimately comes from the earth that nourishes us with its abundance, and the people who nourish us too. So we have several baskets here of cornbread muffins that we will pass around in a moment. And when the basket reaches you, I invite you to hold it out to your neighbor and to say to them, "This is a gift," and allow them to choose a piece of cornbread as a symbol of the ways that we are nourished and nourish each other. And the cornbread, so as an alternative to cornbread, we have apples. The cornbread has gluten and dairy and eggs, and says it was not necessarily processed in a nut-safe facility. So if you'd like a slice of apples, just raise your hand and we will bring that around to you wherever you are in the sanctuary. And if you're joining us on Zoom, I invite you to type into the chat, "There are many gifts all around us." And I invite you to, if you have something nearby, a cracker, a piece of toast, a sip of water, to just take a meditative moment to think about and meditate on the gift of the earth's bounty. So as the cornbread and apples come to you, I invite you to meditate on it as you eat it, the ways that you are nourished both physically and spiritually by the earth and other people, and what you are grateful for today. And let us close with a blessing. Spirit of love, we give thanks for the abundance of the earth, for plants and sunlight which make our food, for the corn and apple, for pumpkin and squash, for the earth's bounty, grounding and nourishment. We give thanks to the humans, too, who nourish us, whose lives are intertwined with us, who give to us with generosity and care, whose abundant love sustains us. For all that is our lives, for all that nourishes and cares for us, we give thanks. Amen, and blessed be. I invite us to rise in body or spirit for our closing hymn, For All That Is Our Life, number 128. The words will be on your screen and in the gray hymnal.
For all that is our life, which King our thanks and praise. For all life is a gift, which we are called to use to fill the common good and make our own days glad. For needs which others serve, for services we give, for work and its rewards, for hours of rest and love, we come with praise and thanks. For all that is our life, for sorrow we must bear, for failures, pain, and loss, for each new thing we learn, for fearful hours that pass, we come with praise and thanks. For all that is our lives, for all that is our life, we sing our praise and pay. For all life is a gift, which we are called to use to build the common good and make our own days glad.
All right, a few invitations and announcements. Oh no, our closing words. Friends, for all that is our life, we sing our praise and thanks. For the difficult, the beautiful, the opportunity to be present amidst it all, the opportunity to be here together. May it be so, and amen. A few announcements and invitations this morning. If you are joining us on Zoom, I invite you to stick around for breakout rooms to say hello to others joining online. And if you are joining us here in person, I invite you to coffee hour next door, right through these doors. During coffee hour today, we will have some Winter Fair Part 2. So if you did not get a chance to see everything you wanted to see, or you want to see what's left, or you want to buy more things, or get some jewelry, which we still have, the raffle tickets and items from the raffle tickets for the baskets are still available. The treasures are still downstairs. There's great bargains all around, so take a look over there. I also made a strategic error at the beginning of worship in mentioning any specifics around the Winter Fair. So there are too many people to thank, too many names to name, but I want to throw out a few more names of specific gratitudes. Brian for your music and the atmosphere, Kit and Meredith for pinch hitting, and Mike for basket and gift card help. So thank you also to all of those people who stepped in and helped out in those specific ways. The Plazuelos, I mentioned this during the worship service, but the Plazuelos banner, if you'd like to send your greetings along with our team, the Plazuelos banner will be available to sign also during coffee hour. And lastly, last announcement from me, and then we have a quick announcement from Rebecca Priest. On December 21st, we are going to try a new thing. We are going to try a multi-generational pop-up choir, which means you don't need to come to any rehearsals except for the rehearsal that day. We will be singing Deck the Halls, and it is for all ages. So if you would like to sing in the choir that day, come at 9 a.m. We will be singing Deck the Halls together, and all ages are welcome, including and especially inviting children to join us that day. So we will be putting more announcements out about that, but mark your calendars now. And lastly, I have an announcement from Rebecca Priest. Oh, I know it. There she is. Come on up.
Close. Hi, I'm Rebecca Priest, and I just had a quick announcement. I've been a member of Theodore Parker for the last over 12 years, and I'm going to be offering a talk on the theory of gerotranscendence in a couple of weeks. I think it's December 7th. It's going to be at noon after coffee hour here in the hall, and gerotranscendence, I won't say too much about it, but it's a theory of positive aging that reframes the possibilities of old age and aging, and helps us come to maybe a deeper growth and understanding of this stage of life. So it's open to anyone who's interested. Then I'm also going to be offering a class in January for those of us who are older, who want to delve deeper into how this might relate to our own aging. So please join me and us if you'd like to. Thanks.
So you repeat when and where.
So 12 to 1 on December 7th, right here in the sanctuary, and that is open to all ages. The class in January will be specifically for people who are going through the aging process. And finally, Yukiko will close our worship service with Etude number 16 by Philip Glass.